In this video, we will look at the main features of the radius, one of the two bones of the forearm, or antebrachium, as it is called in Latin. The radius is the lateral bone in the anatomical position, and you can remember its position by remembering that it is associated with the thumb. Radius associates with thumb, rat, R-A-T. Ulna with pinky, up, U-P. In the video that described the ulna, it was noted that the word ulna was derived from the use of the forearm as a unit of measure, the L. How did the radius get a name that suggests geometry? The answer lies in the relationship of the radius to the ulna that enables the special movements of supination and pronation. You pronate at the wrist joint when you turn your palm backwards or down, and you supinate when you turn your palms forward or up. These movements are due to the way the radius rotates in relationship to the ulna. During pronation, the radius crosses over the ulna. During supination, the radius reassumes a parallel position. During these movements, the radius is rotating along its axis, and the disc-like head of the radius facilitates this rotation. But let's take a look at what is happening at the wrist joint from the perspective of the wrist. If we look at the movement of the radius in relation to the center of the head of the ulna, it moves like the radius of a circle. Hence, the radius is an apt name for this rotating bone. Now let's look more closely at the proximal end of the bone, where the radius contributes to the elbow joint with the ulna. The disc-like end of the radius is called the head of the radius. Its cylindrical sides are smooth, particularly on the medial side, which articulates with the ulna at the radial notch of the ulna. If we look at the top of the head, we can note that it forms a shallow cup or depression, and the word fovea refers to this depression. Fovea means pit, and it is used in other places in the skeleton, and is also used in the retina of the eye. The shallow cup will articulate with the capitulum of the humerus. The joint is similar to the way the head of the humerus rotates in the glenoid cavity of the scapula. The constricted region below the head is appropriately called the neck. On the anterior-medial surface, below the neck, there is a raised rough region where the tendon of the biceps brachii muscle attaches, called the radial tuberosity. Here is a medial view of the same region, and you can see the rough surface where the fibers of the tendon anchor the muscle. At the distal end, the radius widens to contribute to the wrist joint. The distal surface will articulate with the scaphoid and lunate carpal bones. This surface is four-sided or quadrilateral. On the lateral side, there is a slender process called the styloid process. Both the radius and ulna have styloid processes on their distal ends. On the medial side, there is a notch with a smooth surface that articulates with the ulna, called the ulnar notch. Here is a medial view that gives a better view of the smooth articulate surface of the ulnar notch. There is a link to a quiz in the description below. Here are the image attributions. I am grateful to Dr. Jana and Eric Bauer for providing useful images to the Creative Commons. You can find links to these images in the description below. Finally, here is Apollo. He is looking at one of my recent videos. Please note how interested and excited he is. He reminds me of some of my former students.